So here I am in Luxembourg. Yeah, small little state in between Germany, France and Belgium, and it is a lovely little place. It's got a lot of parks like this, that the one I'm in. You may be able to hear the birds in the background, and these are all in the capital as well, which is really nice to see because so many capitals, so many just towns don't really have this kind of thing. So it is nice to see that this is a place that does, and there's a lot of beauty around here and so many parts of history that I'm going to be exploring as my trip continues. So I am just by the cathedral in Luxembourg, Luxembourg's main cathedral. However, if you are going to be looking for this as a tourist, I warn you now, do not use Google. It does not send you to the right place. In fact, this is about the third or fourth time of me looking that I've actually managed to get to the cathedral. Google sends you into someone's house. It has no idea where you're going, and it's quite annoying because this is a really lovely cathedral and it's a really lovely area. In fact, there's a war memorial in front of me, which I'll have a look at in a minute, as well, which is all kind of parceled into one with great views going in all directions, as you can kind of see in the background. And yet you're let down by something that so many of us use generally when we're looking for things. What I will say is, if you go into the centre, there is a tourist information there and they're very helpful, so do look for that there. But let's go and have a look at the cathedral. Just down in the crypt here in the cathedral, as you can see, with these statues behind me, but also if we go to the back, beautiful stained glass as well. Now, I'm being a little bit quieter than I generally am because this is, of course, a cathedral. Specifically in the crypt, it is a place of worship and silence, and despite there being nobody else down here at the moment, they do ask that you refrain from being loud or anything like that. So do remember that when you're coming here. This is still an active cathedral. This isn't some kind of monument. This is something that's still used as a place of worship for a lot of people. So, and it's such a beautiful thing. This is completely free as well. This isn't a paid for cathedral like in many places. It's absolutely free, open to everyone to either look around or for prayer. So just over the road from the cathedral, I found myself here, back in another park with beautiful landscapes around me. And again, I'm in the peace. You would never know that this is a capital city for anywhere. All I know right now is that there are birds in the trees above me, there's a river running below me, and there's calm all around me. This is definitely somewhere to be if you're looking for that touch of silence and somewhere to get away. You can get back up into the streets above me, get back into a cafe and enjoy the day if you like that. But if you like nature as well, Luxembourg definitely has the balance perfect here. I am just in the centre here. I get to enjoy a cup of coffee and a Biscoff cheesecake whilst being by the Palace of the Grand Duchy. So this is the palace residence of the Grand Duke of Luxembourg. So this building is basically in the centre of the city. It is not a small building, but yet I'm here just opposite with my coffee and cheesecake. It's not like back at home for me, where this would really not be possible if I was to be like this in London, but I'm very much enjoying this, and it's an amazing view. I'm just coming from Check-In, which is a restaurant here in Unveiled in Luxembourg. Unveiled's a small kind of village, but it is effectively attached to the airport as well, hence the name Check-In. Now, that is a really nice restaurant slash bar. I've really enjoyed it, and so accommodating and so friendly. Went in, they basically said, hey, I'm vegetarian. Is this going to be an issue? And they just went, we don't have anything on the menu, but tell us what you want and our chef will sort something out. That's something that a lot of places will do, and it's very much appreciated. When I'm in a small village, there's not really many places to go around here. If you're looking for food, really, if you're looking for a meal. I've seen a few things online on reviews that say it may be overpriced, but I just had a few things, one of them being, as a starter, focaccia with truffle oil, and it was actually shaved truffle. It wasn't infused, it was actually shaved truffles. And that meal cost me about the same as something from Wetherspoons. So I don't know what kind of expense they're expecting, but that is definitely value for money. So if you find yourself in Luxembourg just off the airplane and you're thinking, you know what, I need something to eat, I'd head down to Unveiled. It's a pretty nice place. Now, it's midweek, it's late, so it is pretty dead in there, but still definitely somewhere to go along. Really friendly, really nice. So here in the centre of Luxembourg, in the square, you can see there is a local market which is pretty regular here as well. Now, obviously you'll get them pretty much everywhere. You have them all over the UK as well. This one in particular, because of what it has, the layout, actually reminds me quite a lot of Utrecht in the Netherlands. It's very similar, the kind of produce and the flowers, all that kind of stuff is very similar, and I always enjoyed that one, and this one is very enjoyable too. It's always nice to be able to get some fresh produce and actually enjoy the local stuff from wherever you are. Just see what's to Adolphi over there, which is one of the main bridges in and out of the city. If you look actually just underneath the road, almost inside it, you can actually see there are people walking across there. It looks like they're suspended. There is actually a walkway through there, and it is wonderful to walk through because you get to see all of nature around it, and you're kind of in that amazing landscape as you walk down below it. And then over to a plateau Bourbon, which is named after the fort that was in place of it until the late 1800s, and was the main fort, main protector of the city at that point from all invaders outside of it. And it's still a great reminder of the history of Luxembourg. And as you can see, again, I am only seconds away from the main part of Luxembourg. In fact, the city is effectively in front of me over there, but this is the backdrop for me. This is what you can walk into if you're ever feeling like the hustle and bustle is too much for you. It's a great reminder of both the history of Luxembourg and its natural beauty as well. It's a wonderful thing to have here that is completely free and open to the public, to tourists and everybody to enjoy. And I think walking along the Port Adolphi is an amazing landscape. So I'm just here to see the Golden Lady that you can see behind me there, which is a World War I, World War II memorial that was brought back after being teared down by the Germans in World War II, back to its former glory in around the mid to late 1980s. But I can't quite get to it at the moment because they're just packing up from farm in the city. Now, many people may wonder why there's such an event, given that farming in terms of GDP and employment in Luxembourg is actually very low. It's around 0.8% in terms of employment and only about 0.3% in terms of the GDP. However, actual surface area of the country that's used for agriculture is over 50%, so it still does have a huge impact on the country, and it's likely why we still have natural beauty all over this small but incredibly rich country, because farming and nature, as well as the big cities, all work together very well here, and it's events like this that keep it in the mind's eye. And one of the great things about being here in Luxembourg is, despite it being relatively hustle bustle in terms of finance and various things like that, it's still a very calm and very chilled out city. This is a Monday morning and I'm here with my hot chocolate in the centre of Luxembourg City. You can see how calm it is here. So even if you're here for work, you might find that you're a little more relaxed than you usually would be back home. So as I say, this is a peaceful, peaceful city. As you can likely hear above me in the background, there are birds singing in the centre, not even in the countryside of Luxembourg. This is city centre, this is the city square, and there's still those birds chirping away. Something you're very unlikely to find in many of these cities across Europe, or potentially even across the world. Thing you'll notice when you're in Luxembourg, and something that can be very helpful, especially if you're on a budget, is that every type of public transport, trains, buses, everything is all completely free. You don't have to get a ticket, you don't have to go somewhere beforehand or be a citizen. You just walk on the bus, walk on the train and go. It's also, beyond that, it's actually a good service. It's not like it's a really rubbish service that's only free because it's only here and there. This is a full countrywide service, and the great thing about it is, if you want to save some money and be on the outskirts of the country, nearer to the German or the French border, not actually in Luxembourg City itself, to save yourself some money on accommodation, you can do that and then just hop on the bus in the morning and not have to worry about those extra pennies, and they do definitely build up. So with this, you can go all around the country, north, south, east, west, and not have to worry about draining those coffers, and instead enjoy your time in this amazing country, enjoy the food, enjoy the sunshine, and just enjoy your time away.